Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Top Gun Options Wednesday Market Intelligence Brief. My name is Matthew Buckley. My fighter call sign is Wiz, and going to be another epic day here at Top Gun Options, folks. How many times in the past month and a half, 2 months have I told you sell into a rip and don't buy the dip? I added on my Afterburner thread with all my VIP members bearish trades as the market had this fake rally yesterday. I mean, it was you can't even say the word rally, folks. That's all trading, folks. With the prospect of a $1 trillion stimulus bill, day traders went in and kind of bought some stocks. And then I knew this was going to happen today. Our bearish positions are going to be insane today because I added to them yesterday. We're going to have another 6-digit day here across our portfolios. Each portfolio is going to be up 6 digits at the opening bell. The market, so if it opens, it'll open, limit down, and close. Reopen, go even down further, and then we might have one of those triple circuit break days where we just kind of close. And it's absolute insanity there. But again, I warned you. I warned you here, I warned you here, I've warned you here, I warned you here, and I've placed trades that have literally made tons of people here Top Gun Options millionaires. So I'm not talking about people who had money to begin with. I had a guy started with $1,500. He's at 1.2 million. Get armed. You're going to be indoors or quarantined for the next 2 weeks. Get smart on options. It ain't rocket surgery, folks. I'm not joking. We have little old ladies in tennis shoes. We have doctors, lawyers, waiters, waitresses. We have everybody here at Top Gun Options, military, airline guys. This is on you. Now, it sounds doom and gloom out here and everything like that. We're going to get through this. It's a virus. It runs its course. It'll burn out. And then we will have the biggest rip your face off rally God has ever sent us. I can't wait. The bounce back, in my opinion, is going to be higher than the implosion. So for all the idiots out there who I haven't heard from again, that, you're just bearish, you're trying to scare everybody to pound it into the market, it's just the flu. You're an idiot. It's just the flu. And we're going to talk about Trump in a second. He's way too late about telling the truth about China. But here's what I'm going to do. Getting literally support inboxes clogged with people. I feel bad. I feel like the dude on the Titanic, as people are screaming to get in the lifeboats. And me, I jump in my helicopter with my TGO members and fly away. I feel like shit. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to reopen 2 programs, annual only. No more trials. I've taken all the trials off the homepage. I find out I've been talking to some guy for like 20 minutes trying to help him out. He's like, oh, cool. I'm on a $38 trial for a week. Maybe I'll join afterwards. I'm like, that's it. Done. You can join Solo Amazon. That's every Monday at 3 o'clock. It's our Solo. We just trade Amazon and also an ETF called XLY. You can get into Solo Amazon. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo annual. Okay? $897. 25% discount. You will get these 3 manuals, man. Download them, bury your face in there, get smart on options. But here's what I'm going to do. And I ain't a price gouger, and this was supposed to go up to $49.95, but my techie's been a little slammed with all the great stuff we're doing here at Top Gun Options, which is fantastic. I'm going to open this up today. We'll let a couple more people in who really want to know what the hell's going on here. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for full throttle dash order. This is the one you want to do. Why? Because you get 8 live options training sessions. If you're sitting at home right now going, oh my God, my 401k is a 01k. What the hell are options? Learn. You got 2 weeks sitting at home. We're going to be here for 2 weeks and trade briefs and doing options training. We did a great session last night on what bullish spreads are. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about, at 7 p.m., we're going to talk about a tactic called an iron condor. Use this time to get smart, folks. I feel bad. I joke that I wear 2 suits here at Top Gun Options. I wear a flight suit, and I'll tell you how I feel about it. As an American, I feel awful. This is horrific. It's awful. This essentially was a 9/11 attack. It was a sneak attack by China. People are going to get destroyed. Boca Raton, text last night, state of emergency. Every restaurant, bar, nightclub ordered closed for the next 30 days. What happens to those people? My Facebook page is on fire. Like, I just got told not to come into work tonight. What the hell's going on here? I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean what the hell's going on here? Where have you been for 2 months? Replicate Boca Raton times 1,000 cities across this country, man. Why are the futures limit down this morning? It's not going to help. And we're the government bailout. We're 2 weeks away from it. Mnuchin kept saying now yesterday. Like, we want this now, and we need to get money in the hands of people now. I got to go to the House and the Senate. Leave me alone. I got to leave. I'm like, okay. You know what now meant? 2 weeks from now. There's our government in action. So get into solo Amazon for an annual membership today. You have to do both. You need to get into both these services. They're freaking printing money. We'll talk about Amazon in a second here, because in the Monday brief, I said buy Amazon puts with both hands, XLY puts with both hands. And some people yesterday were a little nuts because Amazon was up 120 points. I'm like, have you not been paying attention to anything that's happened for the past month and a half? For every 1,000-point up day, the next day is down 2,000, 3,000. Wake up. You ever hear the trend is your friend? And in the live trade brief yesterday in primary, I mentioned in passing, which was my mistake, that, hell, I might be looking at some Amazon calls if there's some White House deal with Amazon I'm kind of hearing rumors about. I did not buy Amazon calls. There are some people that were like, I didn't get a text alert and you bought Amazon. I didn't buy Amazon calls. Why? Because I knew this type of thing was going to happen the next day. Okay? And for those of you that are just in solo Amazon who were bitching that I mentioned the word Amazon in the primary brief yesterday because somebody asked a question, get into Full Throttle Max. This will be your last opportunity until April. This is to the handful of people, not the handful. She's got about 15 emails. The 15 people in support going, I am absolutely begging you to let me in here. So I am going to keep this price at here. I said last week we were going to raise it to $49.95, but I'm going to keep it here because I don't want to be accused of price gouging, and I know people are hurting. But this is it, man. Next week, I am going to start capitalism. This will go up in price to $49.95, and Afterburner Trading went from $79.95 to $9.95 to $15,000, and it's most likely going up to $20 next week. So if you want any of these services, you need to lock them in today. It's supply and demand, folks. Thousands of people trying to pour in the doors here, and you have to stop at some point. The stupidity continues. The man doesn't know what he's doing. I always treated the Chinese virus. When did he start calling it the Chinese virus? A couple days ago. And the liberals are frothing at the mouth. He's racist. He's what's anti-Asian? Xenophobe? I don't even know. Very seriously, that's a lie. He did not treat this Chinese virus very seriously. I excoriated him for that up here. I know for a fact from dudes that I've trusted with my life that he was briefed on day one back here that this was a biological weapon that got out. Holy shit, Mr. President, this could be catastrophic for the world. Yeah, keep talking, yakety yak yak. You're just trying to scare me. You're trying to get me in wars around the world, whatever. I just got a phase 1 trade deal signed. Going to get reelected, huge. He's lying. He did not treat it seriously. Remember the phase 1 signing ceremony in the White House and hail to the chief, and he went around the room for over an hour pointing out individual CEOs in the room and self-congratulating him as the 4 Chinese dudes stood on stage like looking at their watches going, when are we signing this thing? I didn't know this was happening. Including my very early decision to close the borders. Wasn't early enough. Against the wishes of almost all. All who, dude? Not me. I told you day one to lock this country down. Many lives were saved. Could not disagree more with this president. Awful. Doing an awful job. Even as president. I told you, jokingly, I wear a flight suit as an American. Him in a press conference, I weep. I feel bad for the guy. There's no way in hell. Thank God, ladies and gentlemen, we had Trump because we had 3 years of an enormous economic run and the stock market at record highs, and we're getting a little bit of an implosion. Could you imagine if it was Hillary Clinton and we were still doing the Obama economy flatline? there would be civil unrest right now. I'm not using that word lightly. There's potential civil unrest ahead here. I'll brief you in a second. I'm not shitting you. If you don't have guns and ammo, you're an idiot. And I'm going to go get my toilet paper from your house if you're an anti-gun freak, anti-Second Amendment person. That's not a joke either. Last night, Chicago's Midway shut down. Why? Employees in the tower are positive for COVID. The other thing that this president is failing miserably at is I had good authority. Same dude that I trust with, a couple dudes that I trust with my life, Wiz, he's invoking the second half of the Stafford Act. He did the first half on Friday, empowering states and local governments to go ape shit. Today he's gonna shut down the federal government. He's gonna order a quarantine. He can't order a quarantine of America, folks. This ain't China, where they're like, you're quarantined, you come outside, we throw you in a truck, and you're never seen again. Can they do that here? It would be martial law, and it would be almost the end of our republic. What can he do to kind of force everybody to quarantine? Shut down the federal government. You shut down the federal government, guess what? Air traffic controllers aren't at work. Ain't no airplanes flying without air traffic controllers. IRS shuts down. Post office, no need. The only reason this morning, she's sending out like another 60 books to new members, signed books. She's like, is the post office still open? I'm like, unfortunately, it is for those employees. You know why the president, he literally, and again, this is firsthand knowledge, on the way to the press conference the other day where he was going to shut down the federal government, he changed his mind on the way. He's like, you know what? This will freak people out if I shut down the federal government. You know what? I'm going to announce the federal government shutdown when we announce this massive, when I'm signing this bailout bill on the desk with, Nancy Pelosi's impeachment pens, because that'll take the sting out of the news of me shutting the government down. Is this big? He played it wrong. I predicted that this stimulus thing would land with a thud, and it did. Donald J. Trump is being dragged kicking and screaming from people a hell of a lot smarter than him to the eventual things that are going to happen. I know it sounds like doom and gloom. It is, folks. Dr. Fauci yesterday. This thing, we haven't even started yet, by the way, folks. Look at Italy, Spain. Everybody, the doctors that I talk to say we're 2 weeks behind Italy. Italy is in a freaking nightmare. Dr. Fauci yesterday. We need young people, man. We need the millennials. We need you to pitch in. Why? You're young. You might not get it or die from it, but you can carry it. All these young people, my kid doesn't even look 21. All these young people can carry it. And guess what young people have? Usually old people. Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandpa. Folks, Dr. Fauci said yesterday, we need young people to shelter in place and stop Panama City, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. This is going on. Did you see any images of this in China at the beginning of their virus? They said, get in your home, and if you leave, we're going to shoot you. And now, maybe if you believe their reporting, they've kind of leveled off. I don't know, but you got to believe them. So it sounds like about 2 months for this thing to ravage through a country. And here's our young people. Thanks, young people. Your country asked something of you. Maybe not go get drunk and to go home for a little bit. God forbid you spend time with your family. And we got this. The greatest generation at this age was landing on Higgins boats on Omaha Beach to withering machine gun fire. And here's a wet t-shirt contest yesterday. Freaking disgusting. Grow up. So, that moment when monetary shock and awe finally fails has arrived. Edward Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz, who's talking to you right now, predicted this moment. And I don't do it with any fanfare or pride or anything. I told you this was going to happen. In 2008, we needed to let Wall Street fail. We bailed out the banks. Did you get your bailout in 2008? This time, we did learn a little lessons that, guess what? We have got to get money at casinos, folks. MGM, Wynn. Our Wynn position is at the open today. I was trying to do some math on this. Our Wynn puts are up 41 grand. They'll probably be up double at the opening bell. Wynn, MGM. We need a bailout. Vegas casinos need a bailout? You can go F yourself, Vegas casinos. Let's bring in poor people, get them drunk on watered-down drinks with hot cocktail waitresses, and then go bust and demand that the same people who we took money from give us money to stay in business? Goodbye, casinos. Now, what do we do about the people? They don't deserve that, people of Las Vegas. The room cleaners, the bus boys, the dealers, they need us. This is the biggest moment of truth in financial history, and these guys are already late. The guy that wrote that article and the guy that wrote this article, you guys are late, man. I beat you to it. I told you God, it seems like a year ago. When was it? 2 weeks ago when the Fed did that emergency 50 basis point cuts, and people are like, "Wiz, it's the bottom." I'm like, what are you buying with both hands so I can sell it to you because you're wrong? I don't think. Boom! Holy Christ, Wiz. Thank you for keeping us safe. Japan last week. Prime Minister Abe, we will never close the Olympics. We are doing it. Bum, ba, 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 and Japanese Olympic officials test positive. Brazil. How many of you who are new to Top Gun Options yesterday, in the primary live trade brief, I said you have got to get bearish on Brazil with both hands right now. And it went up like 10%, 14% yesterday. And people were like, wow, Wiz, what are you doing about EWZ? I'm like, what are you, stupid? This trade's I added a bunch of them out to Friday. This one's out to Friday. The March 25 puts. Oh, God, they're down $200. At the open, these are probably going to be up $10,000 in a day. You're welcome. If you were one of those people that panicked, quote unquote, on EWZ going up yesterday, choke yourself. Grab your lessons learned folder and write that down. First of all, if you panicked, you did not have your commit criteria. Step 3 of our trade plan. Why did I get in this trade? What are the 3 to 5 sentences of why you committed capital? If you had commit criteria when you got into those puts yesterday, instead of just following me, which is wrong, if you are blindly following me, you're completely doing it wrong. Because if you had commit criteria written down yesterday, as the EWZ went up throughout the day, like I told my afterburner traders, I said I am adding to my bearish position because tomorrow we're going to implode. So if you had commit criteria written down for this trade, folks, you added to it as it went up, and you're going to be a hell of a lot richer today. But if you were the panicky type who wasn't disciplined and didn't write your commit criteria down, you lost out on a potential lot of more money. Your fault, not mine. There's a whole thread in the Ready Room about AWZ's going up. I'm like, you people clearly are new or just haven't listened to me. Get in the Ready Room, get trained, folks. Anybody who was panicking yesterday on some trades going up, you're lost. Get smart. Is $10 oil on the horizon? Holy crap. Ladies and gentlemen, I called 2 weeks ago. I said we are in a recession right now. When a recession is declared, 6 to 8 months after you're already in it, because they take all the data, they chunk it, ka-chung, and finally, I forget the government department that comes out with it, what happens? They're like, we've been in recession for the past 6 months. We're in one right now, I guarantee you. And you ready for this? If we have $10 oil, and if this thing gets worse, like I think it's going to, I am going to use the D word. Remember, a recession is when your neighbor loses their job. Oh my God, Steve lost his job? That's awful. A depression is when you lose yours. Never in the history of this republic have we seen something like this. Bar, restaurant, club owners closed for a month. The people that work in those clubs, man, ain't exactly killing it. Now they have nothing. Secretary Mnuchin yesterday at his lunch with the senators used this percentage. I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked. He said, if we don't get this massive stimulus bill to the people who need it, there will be 20% unemployment. I choose my words appropriately, and I will say this. If we see 20% unemployment, you will see social unrest. If you see casinos bailed out, Carnival, who the hell cares about Carnival Cruise Lines? I care about the employees, but a discretionary company, you don't have to go on a cruise, folks. You don't have to go gamble. Airlines, Well, business travel. Ain't no business travel, folks. You can sit on a Skype and talk to somebody in China. Leisure travel. I'm not going anywhere for 30 days. It's a flying petri dish. Cargo. We got FedEx, UPS, Amazon, Air. Oof. So don't even bail out the airlines. If I were a waiter that just lost my job yesterday for the next 30 days and I'm broke and can't pay my rent, and Donald Trump announces bailing out Boeing and MGM and all these companies, it first of all will be the end of his presidency, and the second of all, it will be the beginning of civil unrest. I'll be pissed. Some top asset managers are arguing that financial markets should close. You know who they are? Guys who are getting their asses handed to them. And you deserve it. Brazilian money managers, I apologize. Unfortunately, we were unable to defend ourselves from this fall like we did in 2015, or the drawdowns of here and here in other moments. Whoever said this, Braga, you're an ass. We were unable to defend ourselves from this fall. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Top Gun Options is about. What do you mean you couldn't defend yourself from this fall? I couldn't eject out of my airplane, folks. I crashed and I died. It's because you didn't have an ejection seat, you retard. This guy's a money manager, and he doesn't know what puts are. And after 2015 or 16 or May of 2018, you didn't learn that you can protect your portfolio, and not even just protect it, profit like a MFer when this happens. This guy is a disgrace to humanity. If I lost money from this guy, they would never find his body. What an idiot. There was no way we could defend ourselves. When I was up in Chicago, I was started a business that was going to go, you ready for this? Teach hedge funds, wait for it, how to hedge. I'm not joking. 10,000 hedge funds in America, you ready for this? 500 are actually hedged, and maybe a couple of hundred use options. I'd go talk to these multi-billion-dollar hedge funds, and they're like long only, meaning all they do is buy stocks. And if stocks go down, we buy more stocks. What if stocks go down even more? We buy more stocks. Then you're out of money. Yeah. And then what if stocks go down more? Well, they'll come back. Well, what if they don't? Okay, can you leave us now, Wiz? No, idiots. What if this is the big one? It is. And stocks ain't coming back for a while. So these cowards, these idiots, I have zero. Now I'm going to go Gordon Gekko. I was wearing my flight suit. Now I just unzipped my flight suit like the Thunder Down Under, and I'm going to put my Gordon Gekko Armani suit on. I hope you go out of business, Mr. Asset Manager, because you're an idiot. For every buyer that got suckered into this rally, there was a seller. And on the way down, Uncle Wiz is pounding the buyers into the dirt with zero remorse. As a trader, with zero remorse. As an American, I'm like, crap, people are getting hurt. Not my fault. You, who is listening to me right now, have a duty to yourself, to your spouse, to your kids, your family, to care for who? You. I flamed our registered investment advisors the other day, certified financial planners, broker dealers. I don't care if your father manages your money for you. He does not care more about your money than you. Probably just as much, but an RIA or some, I had a guy the other day, he's like, I'm not, my college roommate manages my money. I trust him. You're an idiot. He does. Well, he won't make money if I don't. If your portfolio goes to zero, does his? No. I love it. Somebody's like, well, I care about my clients because if they lose money, I don't get paid a commission. Yeah, what if you lose all their money? You just don't get paid a commission, right? Freaking wah. Learn how to do this. Now is the time. You got 2 weeks to sit at home, get in full throttle training, and get smart. Why? So you can be ready for this rip your face off rally. When's that going to happen, Wiz? I told you 2 months. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT-order. Get in now because I am raising the price because I want less people in it. People, oh, yeah, it's all about the money for you. What? That's why I closed it last week. I'm like, we're full. The trade briefs have like the one yesterday had like 480 people in there. That's like double our normal. I have to limit it, folks. I'm starting to ignore just stupid questions in the chat box. That was never me in the past. Why? Because I sat in these briefs until nobody had a question mark over their head and we left. And not just Full Throttle Max, get in Solo Amazon every Monday at 3 o'clock. Text and email alerts, and you get to watch the replay. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo-annual. I laughed at this yesterday, folks. Traders are actually betting on the VIX, the fear gauge, going down. What did I say yesterday as the VIX went down a little bit? I said, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Anytime I pull up a Wall Street Journal article that says something like this, the exact opposite happens. TGO, you remember this day? This day will live in infamy. The market's real worry is lack of worry. There's no volatility, and the market is pricing in nothing could go wrong. February 19th. This is a career. You can put this on my tombstone. February 19th. Do you see this volatility? I briefed Top Gun Options traders, and I said, for the love of God and all things holy, get long volatility. February 2021, it never looked back. The VIX is up 500%. I got emails from over the past month or so, 4 TGO members that are millionaires because of just a couple VIX calls. One guy's like, dude, I spent $4,000-ish on 2 days after I said, oh my God, this was accelerated retirement. I can show you the headline. It says, get out of every long, buy puts on the S&P 500, get long volatility. You're welcome. This is the reverse. Now traders say the VIX is just so high it can only go down. They're going to get destroyed today. Oh, well, the VIX topped out at 80 in 2008, Wiz. You were in the Board of Trade and the SIBO. You saw it at 80. I did. I never in my life thought the country would shut down because of a pandemic. The VIX could be at 150 in a week. What? So if you got short volatility yesterday, you deserve everything bad that's going to happen to you today. New York. I got a hedge fund manager in New York who's best friends with a 3-star in New York Police Department. They're going to shut down. What if people go out and break quarantine? You're going to see what I predicted a month ago. You'll see federal troops or New York Guard troops on the 5 borough bridges, and it'll be Escape from New York, Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell. I told you this was going to happen. All the idiots that I haven't heard from lately, I wonder why. I told you a month ago, Wuhan is New York City and a half, 11 million people. They went medieval in Wuhan, tore up roads. You went out of your house, you got thrown in the back of a truck. People were dropping on the street. The crematoriums were working 24/7. There was nothing going on in Wuhan, and the thermal satellite image showed a massive heat signature. Wonder what that was. I posted videos of a black ash that had settled over the city. Well, that's just smog. Nobody's driving, you jackass. I actually don't feel bad for it's just the flu people who gave me shit for a month or two. I feel fantastic that you lost money. That's your fault. You were ignorant. Sick of trying to help people and catch shit about it. On my Afterburner trading thread today, I said, I'm not going to do this. We're not going to nibble at Boeing. My God, man, Boeing was a $400 stock a couple months ago. God Almighty, it's going to be below 100. And it's down 18% today. We bought Boeing puts yesterday. They're going to print money at the open. Donald Trump, folks, in his press conference yesterday said the word Boeing about if we were doing the shot game, every time Trump said Boeing, we're going to bail at Boeing, 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 I'd still be hungover. Stock hasn't even gotten off the mat. We are in a bizarre world, folks. I'm still waiting to refinance my house. Why? Because I might be getting paid when I refinance my home. there's going to be a mortgage company with things so bad and scary that is going to send me a check every month. Yeah, that is going to happen. So I have used this opportunity to put the ladder down and help my fellow American. If you didn't help yourself yet, that's your fault. Today is your day. Get airborne. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT-order. We have accelerated retirement today at 1 o'clock. Solo annual. Go.topgunoptions.com/solo annual. All right, I got to go. 9 minutes to the open. I got to get on my afterburner trading thread, and we're going to have another career high day as people panic. Wearing my flight suit for the last time, folks, I'm going to tell you, it sucks. This is horrific for the country, but I am not going to curl up in a ball in the fetal position and suck my thumb sitting here. I'm going to put my Armani Gordon Gekko suit on and make others pay for their stupidity. And then, in a period of time, out here somewhere to the right in the white, we're going to do the exact opposite of what we did on the way down, and we're going to do even better than we're doing now. It's insanity. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I hope, man, I'm 51 years old. I hope this never happens again. I don't want this. But after this crisis and how people's portfolios are doing, I don't think we can shut down. We don't have to trade again. People are going to retire after this. I've already gotten notes like, Wiz, I can retire now based on what I made in 2 weeks. I got a guy here who's makes under $40,000 a year. He's up to $800,000. It's up to you. I have dragged you kicking and screaming like Donald Trump to the reality. Make the move. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. I'll see you at 1 o'clock in Accelerate Retirement.